And I was just like, your parents never gave the lovey-dovey type. Like, every time I went over to your house, like, I never told them this, but it's just like, I'm just thinking, like, because, like, why is there such a rush to grow up? But then at the same time, when people actually finally get to that age of being grown up, then everybody's trying to be a kid again. No, seriously, there are multiple reasons why, like, people gain weight. Like, has anyone noticed how the food has changed in the past few years? Like, seriously? Seriously, nobody has realized that? I kid you not, I used to be one of the only fluffy kids, and, like, in my mind, like, I think of, like, oh my gosh, I've always been, like, this huge fat person. And when I look back at, like, pictures of myself, like, actually, like, yeah, I've been, like, on, like, the fluffier side. But not like, oh my gosh, your kid's obese, like, nothing like that. And then, like, even when I was, like, a tween or so, like, it still wasn't, like, oh my gosh. But, yeah. But, like, a lot of kids did start, like, you know how a lot of kids are, like, really, really skinny? Yeah, if they suck their stomachs, then you could, like, see their rib cage, like, that kind of skinny, in, like, first, second, third grade, like, you know, just pretty much childhood in general. But second or third grade, yeah, you start noticing a lot of the kids were starting to, like, blow up, which is really interesting, because, like, in government class in high school, I took, like, the college version, because, like, the sugar coating that they were trying to do, because, like, they were afraid of the helicopter parents. Yeah, that's weird. Why is everybody always trying to control somebody? And see, that's why everybody's so, like, mentally confused. But everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's all this stuff forcing people to have a unique sexuality. The problem is, like, a lot of stuff that everybody tried to bury and, like, deep into society, all the mental health issues that have been going on, all that, it seems like it's, like, just like a spiritual, it's karma, basically. Everything that used to be hush hush and kept secret is now a very common topic to speak about with, like, even strangers. Like, be for real. There is nothing really new that's, like, people are talking about that hasn't been going on for, like, centuries, if not longer. Like, a lot of this stuff isn't new. The thing is that people are shocked what they're talking about and expressing as confusion is their confusion to why society has changed so fast. But is it because that you were never paying attention, or you never thought it was important to ask questions about your society? Why is it that, like, why do you have to, like, what's the difference between boy and girl? Like, why does a boy and a girl have to be together? Why can't boy and boy or girl and girl be together, or anything else like that? Like, nobody questioned that. I always thought that was, like, interesting too, because, like, you know, you just see people, like, so here's, like, a little side story. So, like, in kindergarten, no, I wasn't even in kindergarten yet. I was in, like, daycare, so I was around, like, 5 or 6 years old. About to go to kindergarten. Yeah. So, basically, so, you know how, like, when you're, like, little, you hear, like, everything is literally about a relationship. Boyfriend, girlfriend, oh my gosh, let's get married, Cinderella, Prince Charming, everything, like, even, like, parents and stuff like that. So, like, you know, you literally see, like, what's in the environment, like, yeah, and you always hear people talking about, like, boyfriend and girlfriend. So there was this one guy, he was probably, like, 5 or something, and then I was, like, 6, I don't know. And then, I didn't even know the difference between, like, boyfriend and girlfriend. I barely knew the difference between, like, boy and girl. It's like, so, like, be for real. But I remember, like, the older kids were like, oh my gosh, do you like her? And, like, really? And basically he was like, they were like, oh, you should ask her to be your girlfriend. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, what's a girlfriend? Isn't that, I'm just thinking, like, okay, like, they just call it girlfriend, but you're still just friends. Yeah. So, anyway, long story short, I, like, I was like, oh my gosh, why do I have to hang out with this person? Why do I have to hold their hands? Oh my gosh, like, I don't want to do any of that. Like, I just literally want to sit and just be a kid. Like, you guys are doing the most. And, like, I just, like, felt like, you know, like, I was, like, under pressure. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, because this is supposed to be, like, a warm-up video. But, since, you know, it's, oh, yeah. But anyway, So yeah, so I just like felt like, you know, honestly kind of like suffocating underwater, like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I don't even like this person. Can you even get out of this? Is this like a, you know, again, I'm a kid, so it's like, yeah, no, but like, no thank you. But yeah, but then they were just like, oh my gosh, you should kiss her. And I'm like, no, I don't want that to happen. No thank you. I'm good. I'm good. I was a little pushover when I was a kid, so yeah, but oh my gosh, like early childhood, like you just like observe and see like people. You cannot trust your lives with people. Like I've learned like life lessons or whatever. They're like the tiniest interactions. Like there was this thing with the seatbelt that happened. Like this one 8-year-old boy. So mind you, again, I'm like 5 years old, and he's over here talking about like basically like hustling me, trying to get me to switch seatbelts with him. My little thumbs, these seatbelts were super hard to like buckle in and take out. Like they were like the old school strapped like around your waist kind of seatbelts, because this was like a tiny little bus that the daycare had, because there was only like a few kids that like would get picked up on the bus to get brought back to the daycare. Like the daycare wasn't like really that big, but like well, it was to me because I was a kid. Yeah, but anyway, the seatbelts, they were like a burgundy shade and like a slight difference like color, so you could slightly kind of sort of tell the difference. I could tell the difference, so I knew. So I was like, you know what, let's make sure we buckle in the proper seatbelt. This guy, I'm buckled in and everything, he's literally losing his mind over, oh my gosh, she took my seatbelt. And then one of the teachers or whatever, I was sitting behind us on the bus, and then like I'm just like, this is literally the correct seatbelt, but because he's 8 years old and older than me, she just assumes like, you know what, just take the seatbelt off and give it to him. And then he realizes the colors didn't match, and I was just like, I was literally just like, really? Like you really couldn't figure that out before? Like I told you multiple times. I'm just like, seriously, literally almost breaking my thumb just to get the flippin' seatbelt unbuckled. And I was like, you know what? You buckle the seatbelt, because I'm not doing that anymore. Literally, like, my little thumb was bending so far back. Just because people are, age does not come with intelligence. Like, no. Oh, and then there was this one time at Chuck E. Cheese, this one guy thought I stole his like coin, and I was like, why would I have to steal your coin? This dude lost his coin, and then his mom, an enabler, that is a video. That is a video. We could do a video. The toxic masculinity is enabled by a lot of females. The mothers, pay attention to the mothers, because oh my gosh, like, this world is a dangerous place. Like you can just imagine how this guy grew up to be. Hopefully he had some type of spiritual intervention. But like, seriously, that is a whole separate video. But back to the where was I? Oh yeah, the boyfriend-girlfriend thing. So anyway, long story short, I went to, yeah, the side stories of the side stories of the side stories. Like, apologies for those. But, no, seriously, like, I just, like, didn't like the whole, like, boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic thing. And I'm just like, like, why do people have to be in relationships? Like, we can't just be kids. And that is so interesting too, because like, why is there such a rush to grow up? But then at the same time, when people actually finally get to that age of being grown up, then everybody's trying to be a kid again. Seriously, because like, yeah, I think honestly it's really important though to like keep your inner child, because do you guys ever see like some of those parks? It really shows who's connected to their inner child, because like when you're like in the, like, you know, if you're in architecture and stuff like that, like the people who come up with the ideas for like playgrounds and stuff like that, you know you've built a great playground when people that are like teenagers and young adults, just like teenagers and adults in general, when they go to the park at night when all the little kids are gone and they're playing on the playground, that is a great playground. I kid you not. It really is, because oh my gosh, my aunt, she had like this one apartment that she lived in back in Indiana, and this playground was so cool. Like, they had like a little, like, it was kind of like a sled thing, like you could go side to side. This playground was super like fun and like dynamic. The little kids loved it, and even like the adults loved it too. Like, but you can just tell like the people that created the playground, like they were connected to their inner child. Like, it was showing. A+ to the team for that. So yeah, anyway, long story short, I remember I went to my grandmother's house, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I have a boyfriend. And then basically I got like shunned for it, and I was just like, why am I being shunned for? Because I thought it was just something that you pretty much like brag about. But I'm just like, oh my gosh. But they were like, oh my gosh, like, what do you mean you have a boyfriend? You're 5 years old. How can you have a boyfriend? You don't have a boyfriend. Who told you this? What's going on at that school? And then I'm just like, but like, what? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just like, oh my gosh. When I got older, I realized that like my grandmother actually had my mom when she was like at the tail end of high school. So the whole boyfriend thing, it was just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, people don't like to repeat cycles, and it's just like, let's not put that, like, but it's just like, I feel like it could have been like explained better, because I literally didn't know what I was talking about. And like, I just literally thought it was something that you just like brag about. But is that not what people do though today? Like, they just brag about being in a relationship, and that relationship is typically super toxic. Like, it's nothing like you should go home and pray to God about, like, oh God, please send me a relationship like Susie Q 2000 from TikTok. Don't know if there's actually a Susie Q 2000, but it's a joke. Well, it's an example. It's an example. But yeah, but no, but seriously, if you're praying and manifesting for relationships, and even like your parents' relationship dynamic, don't do that stuff, because people are so like shocked when they get like a very narcissistic person, and then it's like, have you viewed your parents' relationship from like a bird's eye perspective? Not everybody's parents have a toxic dynamic, but I'm just saying that if there's things like in other people's relationships that you may not want, like, for yourself, yeah, because like I've seen like a lot of like my friends from like various cultures, like their parents got separated or divorced, and then you know, some of them like literally like were ended up taking it like very hard. And I was just like, your parents never gave the lovey-dovey type. Like, every time I went over to your house, like, I never told them this, but it's just like, I'm just thinking like, why haven't you? But like, not a lot of people pay attention to their surroundings, so it just makes sense to why they would like take certain things so hard. But yeah. But anyway, I might actually post this video if I like it, so yeah. I guess that's it for the video today. I don't know how to end the videos. I feel like sometimes like I sound a little cheesy, so then I'm just like, thank you guys for watching. No, but seriously, thank you guys for watching today's video. I think I'm gonna post another one because there was something else I want to talk about from TikTok that I saw, and like, yeah, so yeah. Thank you guys for watching.